ceremony, acting deputy chief, all the education officials, teachers. I welcome you here this morning to this ceremony. Whilst we expect to see many more teachers here today, those of you who are here, welcome. Much of its appeal in many countries. The reasons for this are many, but studies and one-to-one conversation have shown that there are three main reasons. And the three main reasons are remuneration, respect, and recognition. And added to that, many teachers see the profession as being very stressful and that they are not valued. Speaking from experience here, we know when we negotiate with senior public officers. And likewise, if we have an issue, whether for teachers or principals, we contact these prisoners, as we call them. At most times, they don't take our calls. At most times, we write, and they don't even respond to our letters either. And I think common courtesy dictates that if you get a letter seeking clarification on something, some form of response is expected. Does education matter in Dominica? That's a question we're asking. Somehow, we have to think of solutions to curb attrition and enhance teacher motivation and retention. Here in Dominica presently, we cannot complain of a teacher shortage, but we must not become complacent. Some islands in the Caribbean are already feeling the pinch. Jamaica lost about 400 teachers at the end of the last academic year. The government of the Bahamas had to think of ways and means in keeping the teachers on island. We have lost quite a few of our teachers to other territories in the region: Antigua, Anguilla, St. Kitts, the British Virgin Islands, to name a few. In fact, the past president of the Antigua and Barbuda Union of Teachers was a Dominican. The General Secretary is a Dominican. And the president of the Anguilla Teachers Union is a Dominican. So, I'm saying, as the part of saying goes, Le Bab Kamado Puidife Pueglo Wuzesao. We welcome the structural adjustment to salaries as a result of the CARICAT reports, but it still leaves us below many of our counterparts in the OECS and the region. And I think teachers in Dominica are working equally as hard as the counterparts, and some in very trying conditions. While the government calls it an increase, technically it is not an increase. Rather, it is an adjustment. In other words, you have not been paid adequately for the job you have been doing, which means that you've been underpaid. Statements have been made, and this statement can be very misleading. We all heard what was said about salaries would increase by between 6 and 13%. And I ask the question, is $53 6% of a qualified teacher's salary who has been working for many, many years? That, to my mind, is nothing short of an insult. However, we will wait and see how that rolls out as the years roll out. Education here is pregnant with issues, and I think it is time to give birth. Too many of our teachers and top education officials are on stage. When will those long acting appointments in vacant positions come to an end? When will teachers who have successfully completed teacher training be appointed as qualified teachers? Something is wrong with our system, and it needs to be fixed. When I began teaching in 1974, in fact, I first went in as a helper because there was a teacher shortage in my village, and I asked the principal whether I could come and help. She said to me, let me discuss it with the education officer. Not PALREP, education officer. PALREP has nothing to do with that, nothing has to do with that. When she discussed it, which I could come. I went in towards the end of May. School closed in July. September, I got a letter asking me to report as a temporary 1 auxiliary teacher from September 1st. I went in. In November, I got a letter, my permanent appointment as a teacher in the service. Okay? September, October, the same year. After I left Teacher Training College at Bafa State, within a few months, I was appointed a qualified teacher. After I came from studies in St. Lucia for school music, within a few months, I was appointed a specialist teacher. What has gone wrong? What happened? What is happening now, then what is happening now? I don't know. There's a difference. And I can't simply place my finger on it. I find it hard to comprehend that a teacher, having been in the service teaching for 7 years as an untrained teacher, eventually enters the state college teacher training program and obtained an associate degree. And 6 years later, she is yet to be recognized as a qualified teacher and still not appointed permanently. I don't understand this. Why? And why should a teacher with a bachelor's degree be in the service for 18 years, not appointed permanently, yet given the post of a deputy principal in a secondary school, still temporary? I am baffled. I don't understand those things, honestly. A revised structure in the government secondary schools got underway in 2021. Teachers applied for the positions advertised, and they were all given acting or temporary appointments. We are in 2023, and they are still in the same boat. Are we for real? It would appear that the Ministry of Education is hooked on acting and temporary. It needs to be unhooked. Our teachers in Dominica must be treated better. Too often, what we hear is thank you. CXC Wales also good, we hear thank you. Grade 6 National good, we hear thank you. Literacy, we hear thank you. While that is good, we have to go further than that. At the Caribbean Union of Teachers 41st Biennial Conference held this year, the president of the CUT had this to say, and I quote, "The teaching profession has been under threat across the world due to shortage of teachers, teacher migration, poor remuneration, lack of respect for the profession, for the professional judgment of teachers, unjust government practices seeking to undermine and control teachers, lack of resources needed to effectively teach, high levels of stress and antisocial behavior among too many of our students and parents." Teachers, COVID-19 exacerbated these issues in the region and indeed in the world. Teachers, through this unprecedented event, reinvented themselves, made several sacrifices, and what we have received so far, a big thank you. Everybody thanking teachers. But teachers require a little more than thank you. We need something to take to our credit unions and the bank. We need something that can help us to build our homes, and some of us to buy a little vehicle that we can travel to our schools in, just as our thing. Right? A happy teacher makes a happy classroom. And while money is not our only motivation, we must make no apology in saying that we're being underpaid and we deserve better. End of quote. It is high time that the policymakers understand that teachers are the most important factor when it comes to students' learning and success. And therefore, the quality of teachers in the classroom matters. This is the occupation that helps forward and sustain the society. But quality comes to providing teachers with what they need to effectively do the job to which they have committed themselves. The DAT will continue to assist as much as it can in providing professional development to teachers. But teachers, you have to make use of the sessions. Too often we have sessions and we don't see many teachers at the sessions. As part of our collective agreement signed in 2021 for the triennium 2021 to 2023, we were supposed to receive a subvention from government to assist in that regard. To date, we have received not a cent. Yet we continue to provide. It costs us a lot of money to do it, but we're doing it because we believe that teachers need professional development and they need to do it properly. Right? Professional development is a partnership. The employer, the DAT, and the teachers. DAT cannot do it alone. There are now in government persons who want teachers. They know the struggles, and some of them attended DAT meetings and they were very vocal at those meetings. Now they are on the other side. What are they doing to make a difference for teachers? What are they doing to make a difference for teachers? We need to know. I repeat, our teachers deserve better. I would like to suggest policymakers, 1, analyze the main challenges faced by teachers and our education system to make teaching a more attractive profession, especially to attract our males, and one that delivers equitable and inclusive quality education and lifelong learning opportunities for all. Something lacking in our schools in Dominica is the fine arts, music, art, drama, dance. That's lacking badly in our schools. 2, present promising practices to ensure that teachers and educators are adequately motivated to remain in the profession and grow professionally. 3, teachers in the Commonwealth of Dominica are teachers, whether state or in government-assisted schools. They are governed by the same Education Act, and as such, they should be treated equally, especially when it comes to salaries and vis-a-vis qualifications. Why should a trained teacher or a teacher with a degree in government state schools have to pray for someone to die, resign, or retire to get a promotion? That is not good. What is the incentive for teachers in state schools taking loans to pursue higher education studies when the prospect of them being promoted or getting a better salary to help repay the loan or improve the living conditions is far-reaching? Unless, of course, they decide to migrate. To those of you who got permanent appointments, we say congratulations. And we urge you to continue to give your best to your students. All we are saying to you that when you wanted the appointments, you came to us, we made some lobbying, you got the appointment. You can just call us and say, I got my appointment. So we know when we're talking, we don't talk about you, we can talk about somebody else. Okay? The others will continue the battle to ensure that those long-acting appointments are done away with. It's too much. And as I end, I want to urge you teachers to look after yourselves. Take care of your health. Whilst you're concerned for your students, if you are not healthy, you cannot teach. So think of yourselves. Based on the volume of insurance claims we are seeing at the office, tells us something. So we want to urge you, please take care of yourselves as individuals. We also want to urge those of you who are not part of the medical plan, please try and come on board. We know because health, medical is expensive. So please try and get on board, because I don't think you would want, if you have to do some major medical thing, for you have to do a GoFund. And you know what person say, on go to Chakosa, and that sort of thing. So please, we are urging you, please think about those things. I would like to also inform you that the National Executive of the DAT has decided to create a special fund to assist you, the members, educationally and otherwise. The collection we take up today will go towards that fund.